you your Woo Woo Wednesday message, where I share my intuitive insight and weekly wisdom with you through the use of Oracle and Tarot. Today, I am calling for both. I feel like all of the clients that I've been connecting with, coaching, reading cards for this week, and even last week has just been this beautiful buildup of energy for release and transformation. You know, that's exactly what Scorpio season is. It's a rebirth, it's a release, which we have Mercury retrograde, the final of 2025. And thinking about 2025, it is a 9. When you add it all up, it ends in 9, right? Or when you add 2 to 5, you guys know what I'm saying. Y'all are with it. Y'all are aware. I don't need to explain the basics, but it's a 9. So that's the end of a cycle. And with it being 2026 next year, that will be a 1. Do the math. I'm colors and sparkles. I've said that my whole salon career. So anyway, it really is showing that we are at a collective rebirth. And this full moon, super moon, is allowing and highlighting those areas and shadows where you have been holding yourself back, where you have not been allowing abundance. You've not been allowing opportunities or the dreams that you've been calling in. And this energy that's coming in is really an opportunity for you to let go of the old and ask yourself, what shadows am I hiding from? What areas of my life have I been avoiding? This is a time for radical responsibility, and I am loving it, especially watching my clients just be like, the past is the past. I am learning the lesson, taking the wisdom, and moving forward with courage. And it's been really cool to see how it can be handled with grace. Transformation is not an easy process. So it's going to be really exciting to see what comes up. I decided we needed to pull some tarot cards today, and I'll end with a self-love ritual that we can really step into and embody during this time. You know, the full moon in Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is also Libra. So I'm all about the energy of the love that can be held present during the time of letting go, of surrender. And that's exactly what Scorpio is a release. So when we see these paired together, it's really just that beautiful portal where that veil is thin, and we have the opportunity to hear our guidance more clearly, our higher self, our guides, our angels, spirit, whatever you want to call it. This is the opportunity now for us to really listen, to get quiet, to relinquish the thoughts. And that takes practice. So if you don't have a meditation practice, or if you don't practice hypnosis or work out or do those things that allow you to quiet that overthinking mind, then this would be your invitation. I'll be curious to see what comes up with our self-love and self-care reading. Okay, I'm just gonna, this lighting, y'all, this daylight savings time, what is even happening? Why do we do this? It is throwing me off just like it throws everyone else off energetically. So with that being said, I'm gonna take a little bit of my Air Professional spray and just cleanse the energy. This is amethyst infused, and it's a hair and energy aura refresher. My friend Jenny Strebe created this. Air Professional is the first crystal infused hair care line. And speaking of, we'll actually be visiting her headquarters in Scottsdale, Arizona next week on 11/11. We'll be hosting a vision board party, which I do every year. In fact, I had a memory come up just this week from 11 years ago, one of the vision boards I had. In fact, it had a bunch of lipstick on it, and it reminded me of a dream that I had 11 years ago of wanting to create my own lipstick line. I've been hanging out in Virginia, y'all. Did y'all hear that country twang just come out? Anyway, I had this brilliant idea to create it after my clients and have these empowering, bold statements. And then I just never followed through with it. After I created the Shine from the Inside Oracle, I was like, oh, physical products take time and take a toll. And I just wasn't really ready to jump into that. But now here I am, fast forward, thinking of what's my next step? Where do I go? How do I serve in a bigger way? And the very first blog I ever wrote, I shared about this today on Instagram. The very first blog I ever wrote when I decided to be a personal brand, which I didn't even really know what that meant at the time. I just knew I had a bigger message about self-love than I could spread, one client at a time in my salon. And so when I started BrittanyCarmichael.com, the first blog I ever wrote was called Just Put the Damn Lipstick On. And it was a time in my life where I did not feel confident. I did not love myself. And I was really struggling with my appearance and how I showed up and who I was in the world. And I remember giving myself this pep talk, just put the damn lipstick on. Like, I only thought it was for the models or pretty people. And I do look quite a bit different than that time in my life because I've grown and transformed. And what I've seen is like self-love. Self-love shines the prettiest, honestly, no matter what you look like. When you love yourself, there's just a different shine from the inside sparkle sparkle magic that you emanate and vibrate to. And so when I think back to that girl and that version of me that was like even too scared to just put on the lipstick, I get inspired when I see people breaking out of that fear that's held them back, the limits that's held them back, the old stories and the shadows, those limiting labels that say, I'm not good enough, I can't do this. Also, just a side note, Monica just jumped on. I love you so much. I just, like, a country twang just came out right out of my mouth and like must have been hanging out in Virginia for the last week, which I loved so much. Okay, so with all that being said, this is definitely a time where you're going to be feeling the feels that, I mean, it's Cancer, also a water sign. Scorpio is a water sign. So those feely feels are going to be emerging, especially with Mercury retrograde. This one's not going to be such a doozy. It's just going to show you what's not working. And this is your opportunity, an invitation to reinvent it, to rebirth it, to transmute it, and to release it as well. Because, release what part of your life isn't serving you. I think simplify is the energy I'm in currently. Although if you look at my schedule, you'd be like, liar, crazy. But I have so many ideas, lipstick, writing a book, doing all the things that I'm working on behind the scenes. But while I'm still trying to find that balance, and that's what we just experienced in Libra, our personal relationship to ourselves and to others. And that also involves the balance of how we give and receive energy. And that is really highlighted on this full moon in Taurus, because Taurus is the ruler of abundance and foundations and practicality. So I think this moon is highlighting areas where you limit yourself to abundance. The first card in, maybe it's a second card, alphabetical order, is in the deck, is allow unlimited abundance. And in the deck and in the guidebook, I talk about how it's not just money when we think of the word abundance of health, abundance of joy, of like clean air, of fresh food. There can be an abundance of everything. And so many times we get conditioned to close off the abundance in areas that are uncomfortable for us, while we might be open to receive in other areas so freely. So we have to find the balance in where are we limiting ourselves from being able to receive, because I guarantee the limiting area in which you're not allowing the help that you need, or the ideas, or the coach, or the mentor, or the new information that you need to go out and find, or just the practice. Sometimes it just takes 10,000 hours to become a master, and patience. So no matter where you're at on that journey of transformation, makes me think of my program Shift, where I help you guide you through that. I should launch it. I always launch it on the equinoxes because that's a major time of change. But honestly, I'm thinking I should do like 50% off Shift in Scorpio season, because it's Scorpio season, y'all. So yeah, I'll definitely honor that. If you're going through change and transformation and you're like, I need the steps to be able to heal and integrate and really stop the self-sabotaging cycle so that I can step into this next version of myself, just DM me the word Shift. I'll get you a coupon. I'll get you a little 50% off, and you guys can learn the tools to navigate that change. So love when things like that happen. But Scorpio season is that time for rebirth and transformation. So I am going to be pulling these tarot cards with the intention that we receive the message that we need most to be able to take radical responsibility, to heal and release whatever no longer serves us. All right. So if you're watching along, just take a deep breath. Ooh, in. They're yelling at me. I'm going to flip them over because I don't like to peek. I like it to be a surprise. We'll take that one. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull one of the Shine from the Inside Oracle cards as our self-love message. Oh my gosh, this is so cute, y'all. This is a picture, a little Polaroid picture from when we were in Virginia with my little 4-year-old friend. All right, I'm going to pull a self-love oracle so that we can really nurture our inner self. This month in the Elevated Life Club, where Chris and I team up for our monthly coaching and hypnosis practice, practice for y'all, but our guided hypnosis so that you can help transform yourself. We are talking all about shadow work because this is Scorpio season. We plan out it based on astrology and where we're going to be at energetically. So we know that this is a massive time of release and really letting your light be seen and not being succumbed to the darkness or feeling stuck or in a rut or unclear of how you want to enjoy life. Joy is always available despite the circumstances. So let's start with that, an attitude of gratitude. So if you're struggling with that and you need the support, definitely come join us in the Elevated Life Club this month. So with that being said, I'm going to pull and reveal the cards that have flipped over. Y'all, this light, I mean, it looks great on Instagram for sure, thanks to the new iPhone 17. Like, shout out, not sponsored, but would be awesome. But my beautiful, lovely camera for YouTube is the colors are going crazy, the light's going crazy because it is like it's blasting me, y'all. It's blasting me. This, like I said, this daylight savings time is like throwing off my whole rhythm. So that's why we're gonna ground. Everyone take a big deep breath in. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Exhale, releasing, letting go. Calling your energy back from the day. No matter where you've been, who you've interacted with, you can call your energy back now so that you can feel more vibrant, more grounded, more at peace, more calm and centered. So if you're feeling a little stressed out or anxious, just slow down your breathing in deep into the belly, allowing the body to completely relax. Maybe you need to sigh it out. Let those shoulders down. And whenever you're ready and you feel centered, you can open your eyes. Notice how good you're already starting to feel. Okay, I'm going to turn. We're going to just turn so it's not blasting me in the face. Okay. Virginia was cold. Texas is hot. And we're going to Arizona this weekend. It's going to be even hotter. And also, if you're going to Minted Wealth Live, come see me. I'll be reading oracle cards and, hey, hosting an 11/11 vision board party. All right. Mercury in retrograde is also calling for a lot of interesting communication. So I feel like I've been very chatty since I've been kind of literally living life. In October, it was my birthday month, and I just traveled and partied and hung out with friends and went all over the place. And so I was a little distant from showing up and all the things. And so it feels so good to be back, to be live, to connect with you, and to bring you this wisdom. So if I'm chatterson today, it's because one, Mercury is about to do that skirt, and I've missed y'all so much. Oh, yay. Okay, definitely come back for this reading. Oh, we attracted the kitty down here too, so we must be in good energy. Okay, so the first card that comes up for this full moon in Taurus is the Justice card. Perfect, because this is also ruled by Libra, which is Venus, and this is a card about finding that balance, knowing that your actions have consequences as well, knowing that well-ordered thoughts and clear communication and coming from the heart allow you to connect with other people in a way that makes you both feel seen and heard. I think when we speak from a place of anxiety or stress or fear, that's usually when we feel like regretful or guilty. We need to take those words back. And during this time, I feel like our communication is going to be extremely highlighted. So with the Justice card, this is a lot about fairness and equality. So especially during this time right now, I feel like they use external things like politics to divide us as a community, because if you were to erase all the lines and the colors and all from sides and all the things, we're really all just one beautiful human community. And I think this is a reminder that we have to protect ourselves and also not come from a place of anger, although it is unfair. So I understand, like, the anger is necessary. It's a part of the process. But when we take action, it can be motivated by anger, but that can't be the energy that we operate from, because then it will burn out. It only goes so far. But when we can find a deeper understanding and have a sense of empathy and forgiveness, although that is like some high level spiritual maturity right there, then it allows us to operate in a way that is still in alignment with what we know is true for us and as the collective. But we're not coming from a place of anger. We're coming from a place of boundaries. We have boundaries that we won't tolerate being treated this way or others being treated this way. And I think it starts with that personal, again, responsibility. We have to take radical responsibility for how we're showing up and treating ourselves and treating other people. I think you underestimate the power that you have in just being a good person to the people that are around you. So also, when we see the justice card, there's always like great positive, and it's usually like a positive sign that if you're going through any kind of legal contract, that you are on the right side of that, and just stay patient, that it will process in your favor. So if you're going through anything like that, I just had a phone call with a friend, and that's exactly what's happening for her right now. So sending love if that's the case. But this is about just speaking your truth, keeping your thoughts clear, and knowing that every action has a consequence. Okay, next card. Let me just jump in. Hold on. Let me pull the chat over here, and let me jump in over here. I'm planning a family meeting with my children and husband to help our communication and support, so I don't feel like I'm carrying all of it. Thank you. Thank you for having the courage to do that and to be willing to sit down and say, this is what I need. Do you know, every morning when we start the goddess retreat, when we get on our yoga mats and we are doing our breath work and our yoga and meditation, I always start the day with the question, what do you need? What do I need? And I have the girls reflect on what is it that they need for this day, not for tomorrow and not for yesterday, but what do I need right now? And what I've found in my practice of asking myself that the first thing I wake up every single morning is that it changes. It changes every single day. So start your morning off with that. What do I need today, so that you can fill your cup or ask for the support and help that you need, especially from family and children. So beautiful. I love that. Okay, the next card that comes up for this full moon in Taurus is the Ace of Wands. This is an awesome card of inspiration, of new ideas, new insight, that new action, just like a burst of excitement. So when I see the Ace of Wands, this is saying there's an opportunity here for you to take and run with. You might have been sitting with this idea, and I feel like this full moon is going to eliminate where your heart is not in it anymore. It's not filling your cup. And this idea, this insight, this like push me outside my comfort zone inspiration that's making its way through your intuition is nudging you in the direction that your soul knows how you want to feel and where you want to go, how you want to impact the world. And when I see the Ace of Rods, it makes me always think of like leaving behind the old chapter, because the ace is the new beginning. It's the first minor arcana card. So for me, it's that like massive spark, made my cat jump, the massive spark of energy from spirit to say, hey, we've got an idea and I need you to co-create it. So I have a feeling that you probably have this new idea, and maybe you're in the in-between of like, I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel this energy trying to come through. And that's why earlier I mentioned getting quiet, really taking time to go within. Plus, I am working to show my family and daughters how to move in this way. I mean, embodiment is the best teacher. Everyone had the parent that said, don't do this, and we watched them do it their whole life. And so I think this is again, our opportunity to take radical responsibility in how we show up and how we move. It is in our actions that is a reflection of what our intentions and integrity is on the inside, as well as what we're going to attract on the outside. So the last card for the, oh, good God, for the full moon in Taurus is the Three of Swords. This card, obviously, you can tell, is a painful one. This is one of endings of old chapters. It is one of painful loss as well. So this card is one of heartbreak. And with all change, there is a sense of sadness and grief and heartbreak when you let go of the old, whether it's a relationship or a job or some of my cute fucking outfits that don't fit anymore. Then there's a sense of sadness. There's a sense of grief. And I think we need to honor that truth. I mean, look, we got swords and we got swords and wands, okay? Like all the things where it's in our mind, and our mind is in need of renewal. Okay. A lot of people are feeling overwhelmed, anxious, stressed out, and that can cause that spiral of self-sabotage or feeling stuck or uncertain of what that next step is. And I think that this full moon is going to highlight those areas where you have to accept that it ain't working anymore. And there has to be a different way. And the Ace of Rods is that awareness of the new idea, the new way, the new action steps, the new routine, the new way we speak to ourselves or to others or advocate for ourselves. And with that Three of Swords showing up in that final spot, it really is just a true completion. This year has, what I've been talking to a lot of my friends in business and even watching my coaching clients throughout the year, I've seen that this year has been handing a lot of people those endings that, yes, some were definitely expected, but some were not. Losing family members or getting divorces that didn't feel like, kind of felt like they came out of left field. Things like that definitely have popped up this year. And I mean, my grandpa passing away, that was so unexpected. Even though he was 92, like a car accident got him, and we just celebrated their anniversary yesterday. And it's just really bringing up a lot of, my grandmother passed away in November. There's a lot of, sadness with the Scorpio energy. It's the death, it's the sign of death, but also rebirth. And that's why I see this reading being one, so beautiful about being honest with yourself, and also knowing that you have the next idea, the next move inside of you, if you would just allow that inspiration through, by not focusing on the pain of loss, by not focusing on the sadness. I mean, easier said than done, sure, but that is the practice. That's how we get back to our joy. That's how we find our peace. Oh my gosh, Meg, it's so good to see you, love. So the self-love card that I pulled for the full moon in Taurus, so that we can really nurture ourselves, because this is the time. You know what I'm saying? So, oh my God. Allow unlimited abundance. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is exactly what we started the conversation off at, talking about how this was the second card in the deck. And it's not just about, oh, Taurus, I love you and your abundance, baby girl. It is not just about allowing the money, but allowing the joy, and allowing the pain to release, and allowing the new to come in, and allowing the old to go out. It's all the same. And I think if we put up resistance, that's when we stop the process that is already happening. You are not in control of the transformation necessarily. It is happening, especially if you're someone who has asked for that, where you said, I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to let go. I'm ready to be my highest self and let go of this lower mind, this crazy ego. If you've asked spirit to allow for transformation in your life, that fire was lit and there is no putting it out. Okay. So if you could just stop resisting the healing, and stop resisting the change, and stop resisting the love that you push out because you feel like you don't deserve it, or it has to come from a certain worth or value. There you are again, Taurus. I think this is just a reminder that all of that can be taken away, and what can be taken away is not real. And so when we think about allowing unlimited abundance, I want you to really think about peace. I want you to think about joy. I want you to think about coming from a place of being lit up. And if you haven't felt that in a long time, I'd encourage you to get back to maybe a gratitude list, starting to journal, and really recognizing there are areas in your life that are going great. What I find in coaching women is that when there's one thing going wrong, and it could be a big thing too, it's like all the languaging changes to, it's everything is awful. Everything is impossible. I feel helpless, period. Like, yes, we may feel those feelings towards a specific thing, but when we use the language that says it's impossible, or this is so hard, or every area of my life is in shambles, like, we're programming and reaffirming to our subconscious that we want to continue that energy. And so I challenge you to take that radical responsibility to identify that one pinpoint where there is maybe a problem, and change your languaging around it. Instead of saying like everything is horrible, like, well, what is that one thing specifically? Instead of saying everything, because then you're again reaffirming to that subconscious mind and to everyone around you to continue to give you what you're asking for. So again, this is taking radical responsibility for our communication, knowing that we have the ideas and the tools to be able to change and transform that, and knowing that you're going to face a little bit of forgiveness and grief work, and maybe even some anger through the process of letting go. So allow it, let it go, burn the bullshit tonight. It's crazy. I haven't done a goddess gathering since maybe May, and it feels so crazy to me. I've had so much going on, so many events that I've been traveling to, and 11/11 wasn't even on. I mean, it was on the board because it's there every year, but I just wasn't even sure if I was gonna am I gonna do it? And when Spirit said, do it on 11/11, don't miss the magic, don't miss this opportunity to plant your ideas and your intentions on after you've released through that full moon. And getting redefined and clear during retrograde is going to be the perfect time to plant those seeds of intention. Because when we move into that next year, it's going to be all of these ideas and dreams that we've been focusing on now, just like where we are today from last year. You guys get it? So when Spirit said do it on 11/11 and I'm in Scottsdale, we're doing it. We've had women sign up. It's just so beautiful to see the community I've impacted throughout the years. I've had women that I've spoken on stages years ago contact me and say, oh my God, you're coming to Arizona and I would love to be a part of it. So it's just really cool to see the ripple effect of the sparkle magic in our beautiful Shine Tribe community. So I just want to say thank you for being a beautiful part of the sisterhood. Thank you for always showing up and shining your light. It's really incredible to witness the growth that is happening right now and the level of open-heartedness where women are wanting to come together and do this in community and celebrate each other and lift each other up. It's honestly, this is what I've been dreaming of when I started the Shine Tribe Sisterhood over about 10 years ago. And I just want to say thank you. So if you're here watching, you are a Shine Tribe sister, and I am forever grateful for the love and the magic and all of the support that you do for the community here and all the sisters involved. So if you love this message and you know a soul sister who needs it, because like, hello, Scorpio season, definitely share this with them, post it in your stories, share the sparkle magic. So I'm just going to take a moment to catch up with everyone, see what you guys are feeling. Gail says, embracing the dark in you to allow and let in the light. Exactly. We have to own our shadows, which is why we're talking about shadow work in the Elevated Life Club. We have to love and embrace them and treat them as if they were a part of our inner child instead of rejecting them. Some of the hardest parts that you reject about yourself are actually probably the powerful wisdom and magic that other people adore you for. Letting go of the harmful habits we've allowed and seeing real potential. I think that is definitely going to be highlighted during this time. Anything else? Post, please. I have to start work. Oh my God, I love you so much. Forever grateful for you. Thank you, Angel. So this has been a beautiful week of really seeing where things are not working, although it's uncomfortable to have to accept the truth. In Zen philosophy, they say, suffering ends when you accept what is. And that was the phrase that got me through my mom's stroke. Truly, I had to just accept. I couldn't change it. There was nothing I could do. And so when I came to this acceptance of like, okay, this is where we're at, that's when that Ace of Wands, that inspiration, that God-given idea is like, can channel its way through. Is like, okay, you've accepted. You're not clogged up with anger and you're not clogged up with resistance. You've accepted now, like, okay, the shit has hit the fan. Now what good can come from this, and what's my next positive action step? And that, I think, is something we underestimate, is that we have the ability to just pivot and move immediately. So many people stay in suffering, and that is not necessary. Like, you can learn the lesson quickly and move on. I promise. It feels so much better. Sending love and blessings to you and Chris. Oh my gosh, thank you, beautiful. It's so good to see you again. This has been so much fun. I could talk forever. I told you Mercury is like getting prepared and my throat chakra feels open, and I just love being able to deliver these beautiful nuggets of wisdom. So to remind you that you truly do have the power, that the more you appreciate the good in your life, the more you become this magnet to attract to you exactly those dreams that you have in your soul and the desires that you feel. This is not coming to you for no reason or to tease you. It's coming to you because you're meant to co-create and channel that. So trust the ideas and just continue that one step at a time with aligned action. And I promise, with consistency, you're going to look back in just 3 months' time and be like, oh my God, look at all that has changed. I genuinely look back at those pictures of me when I was too afraid to put the damn lipstick on. And I think, wow, that girl was holding herself back. So she was being so mean to herself. And it's just beautiful to see that there is growth and there is healing. So take a moment to reflect back and feel proud of the growth and transformation and healing that you've done. You wouldn't be here if you weren't someone on that path. I know that to be true. Thanks for the affirmation. I will carry it and pass it along. Absolutely. So, so beautiful. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been such a pleasure. I feel like we should move Woo Woo Wednesday to 4 o'clock because, ooh, the lighting looks so much better now on my YouTube. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Listen, if you are in Arizona near Scottsdale, we are hosting our 11/11 vision board party. This is a leap of faith. You guys are going to watch me make this leap of faith. I am hosting my first out of state local local event, and it feels so good to be able to bring community together in a place that I'm not even from, and it's already happening. So I hope that this leap of faith proves to you that your wild and crazy ideas are just on the other side of that courageous decision that you make. So enjoy Scorpio season, enjoy this full moon, burn the bullshit. Let me know how it goes. Send me a DM on Instagram at The World by Brit. And I cannot wait to see all the transformation and the healing that you allow. Unlimited abundance, baby. All right, I'll see you guys next week. I'll be flying back from Phoenix. Maybe we can make that happen on the way. All right, stay tuned. Follow behind the scenes on my Instagram, because I will be at Minted Wealth Live reading oracle cards for incredible souls who are powerhouse leaders in that financial industry. So excited. We're going to allow unlimited abundance at Minted Wealth Live. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.